Hey, witches.
Hey, witches. Happy full moon in Virgo. Coming soon. It's
coming
not today,
soon, yeah.
but
Friday,
yeah.
actually.
Friday?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
Friday, right?
The real day?
The real day.
I just look at the sky and go, yep, that's full. All right.
Well, it's getting full. You can tell because it's very bright outside.
It's very bright. Yesterday when we walked, we had shadows. Did you notice that?
I did notice that.
We had noon shadows.
When I let my dog out in the middle of the night, there's shadows.
Tinker.
Because he never lets me.
In the middle of the
He
night.
does not. My dog does not let me sleep through the night. I probably should have trained him from a puppy, but I did not.
He's 3 now. Going on 4?
He's 3.
Going on 4?
Don't make him older
Going
than
on
he
3?
is.
Wait, is he going on 4?
Yeah, he'll be 4 in August, though. That's a long way away.
She has a dog teenager now. So tonight we are talking about 10 things to do for the Virgo full moon. And remember, with full moons, this is really a celebratory time. Like, it's about the expansion. Whereas when we're in new moon, we're really talking about like the inward stuff, right? So these are going to be things, these 10 things that we're going to bring you tonight or more, because we had a lot of ideas. But these 10 things are going to help you outside of yourself. Whereas when we go over the new moon, that is really things that are about you personally and inside and starting things and kind of like that dark. I don't want to say dark, but the light is not shining on it yet.
Well, it's kind of like the seed that's buried, right? Because it's
I like that analogy.
Because it's dark and everything's sort of like undercover.
Yeah.
And then the light shines on it and the seed sprouts and then there's a little plant and then it grows and grows and grows.
Grows and grows and grows. Yay.
Yeah.
So we sort of put them into categories as well. And we'd like to tell you a little bit about the Virgo sign, if you're not familiar with it. Because
you're looking at 2 Virgo risings here, which
we get along very well.
Which is kind of crazy. So we both have this need to be organized and need to keep control, I think.
I'm like, she's being nice. What we are is OCD and can't have shit out of order because and that's the thing with it being out of order and then somebody else having control of it. We want to come in and say, I could do this way better. Just like, let me handle this. I can organize this. I can plan it. I can do all the parts together.
Well, and the crazy thing about your rising sign, and when you know your rising sign, is like you realize this is such a part of your personality that's outward to people because that's what the rising sign is. It's this part that you show to people. Yeah. Your sun sign, your Scorpio here, Pisces here. Your sun sign, that's the kind of part you don't let people see that all the time, but your rising is very everyday. It's your everyday personality and actions and how you kind of operate. So to hear that when I found out that I was Scorpio rising and I found out what
Virgo
that meant,
rising.
I'm sorry, Virgo rising, and I found out what that meant, it made total sense.
It made so much sense.
Yeah, because I'm pathologically a perfectionist. I'm a pathological perfectionist.
And I just thought I got it from her because she raised me. But no, I'm also a Virgo rising. So I have this crazy idea that everything should be perfect. And I hold myself to unreasonable standards and everybody else.
So that's part of the characteristics of this sign too. And part of the energies of this moon. But I think so. I like the little sort of like opening to this. I think we should do that where it's like, the Virgo full moon is about being practical, attention to detail, giving things in your life the attention to detail that they need. It's about analyzing stuff in your life.
Organization too.
Organizing and analyzing.
For efficiency.
To make things better. And then it's also the energies of this full moon is also focused on service. And that is helping others and also well-being and caring for yourself. So those are the tips. We're going to give you tips of things that you can do around this new moon energy that align with the energy of this full moon. So here we go.
We were almost in sync with shaking our heads. I was trying to get us there. I saw you. I tried. The very first thing that I like to point out about the Virgo energy and then also celebrating this for the full moon of that. So you're combining these 2 things, right? Full moon celebration in your face, sort of like the outward expression of the moon's energy, and you add that with Virgo. So what you have is things that you do outside of yourself, and that is to be very, very practical. Virgo energy wants to be practical. We need reasons why. We might ask why a lot. Why? Why are we doing it that way? Why do we do it this way? Why is this like that? you want to understand things so that you can then find the most efficient and practical way to do stuff. So the things that we're going to give you as ideas on how to celebrate this may not seem like a celebration because it's work, but it's things that really align with the energy right now that should push you through projects that maybe you've been stalling on. So I'm going to go with the first one. Are you cool with that?
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
go. I get to
I'll
speak
let you
first.
go, yeah.
Okay. So
Go.
this comes down to a practical practice for this full moon energy. All right. And I think of, one of the things that really bothers me is if I find somebody's junk drawer. I almost can't take it if I know it's there. If anybody's seen Friends and like Monica with her crazy closet, that's when I find those things where people are just like, everything else is perfect, but I'm hiding all this stuff right here. It's just out of sight, out of mind. I want to get in there so bad. Like, I can't tell you how many times my husband has these little drawers of like stashing stuff or doing things, or, because he's one of those people, out of sight, out of mind. He's a Libra. So his balance is, I can't see it, doesn't exist. I find his little junk drawers, and then I'm like, oh my God, I start buying organizers for it. I start putting things together. I was like, I can't handle this. So one of the things that you could do to embrace the energy and the celebration of this full moon is to go through your junk drawers and get rid of the actual junk. Like, turn it into a purpose drawer instead, right? Like, these things will actually serve a purpose. It's not just all the junk and discarded soy sauces and matches and pins that don't work and, business cards that people knock on your door and hand you, and you're like, I don't know. What it is the junk drawer is full of non-decisions. When you approach your junk drawer or any space in your house that feels unorganized, it's because you have not made decisions on things. You either don't want to, or it's emotional, lots of reasons for it, but indecision. So
sometimes I'm just lazy and I don't want to make the decision right then because it requires me to
mental
expend
effort.
energy.
Yeah, it's
to think
effort.
about, like, okay, if I'm going to keep this, why am I keeping it? What am I using it for? And where does it make sense to have it so that when I need it, I can find it. I see I'm not the only one.
No. Here's another great story. So I actually call myself the finder of lost things. I'm very good at finding lost things. And I'm also very good about keeping people around me who lose things. I think I must attract them because I like to find shit. I don't know. But I can't tell you how many times in my relationship that my husband's like, it's not there. I couldn't find it. It's not there. It's not there. I'm like, hold on. I can find stuff. So then I go through everything because my little organization brain is like taking things out, flip through. Okay, set that over here. And so I do it in these sections where he's like this. I didn't find it. It's not there. I'm like, I don't think you looked hard enough. I'm just going to say that.
You didn't look in an organized way. So of course you didn't find it because you have to organize this stuff to be able to find stuff.
Take it out section by section. So I had this whole method where he's just kind of like, this is the stuff. There you go. Didn't find it. I was like,
that sounds like Tony, like in a major way.
I love my husband so much. He's my perfect match. But there are these funny things. And this is how I offset our relationship. I'm like, our relationship is that I'm very good at these things and he's very good at other stuff. So cleaning out your junk drawers, cleaning out your junk spaces, make those decisions, get rid of stuff you don't need, let it go. It will free up more energy in your life to do positive things.
Okay. My practical tip for you for this full moon is to create a budget, like a spreadsheet budget, because who does not want to save money? Now, this requires work, but it's also the good time. The energy around this full moon supports this type of an activity where you get a spreadsheet and you like make a budget. And the other part, so part 2 of that, like once you have your budget made, because I'm in the realm of who doesn't want to save money on stuff, is to do something like either search for apps so that you can, so it's about shopping, food shopping, because that's a huge expense for everyone, especially if you have a family and you have kids. If you're feeding yourself, that's, for me,
it's easier.
It's pretty easy. But when you got to cook for a whole family, you need to be budget minded. Most people do anyway. So this is a time where you could look for apps to help you like compare shopping. You could start collecting coupons, or even, here's something else, right in that same vein, like look for new recipes to make, because, oh my gosh, we have to cook dinner like every night of the week for our whole lives. And nobody told me this when I was about to be an adult.
That wasn't how to grow up.
that I would have to make dinner for myself and my family for the rest of my life. Do you know how long that's like a lot of dinners, and it gets really boring. So try some new things. Go on Instagram. I found some great recipes that on Instagram that I'll try, but they have to be easy. For me, they can't have too many ingredients or take too long.
Or time efficiency.
I just don't have, I just won't do them if they're like, and get your food processor out. And then I'm like, yeah, no, I'm never going to have a food processor ever. Cause I think it's a waste of time and money.
Space.
So, okay. So those are my 2 tips. So we have 3 tips on the practical side.
I do want to say that with your thing, when Kat talks about making a budget, what I think of first, and I don't know, like you're way better at this than me because I've not been adulting as long, but what I think about first before the budget side is like looking at what you actually spend per month and what you spend it on, and then sort of categorizing that. With my bank app, I use USAA, military member, but they'll show you a little like graph that says, here's how you spend your money. And that is such a great insight into what our habits are. So this, this full moon synergy is about reflection and being analytical. And so being able to really see where you put your monies at and what you spend it on, and maybe you could do better, or tell yourself, all right, Starbucks is only once a week because their outrageous price on their drinks.
It's now like $6, depending on where you are for a coffee. I don't know.
I used to go to Starbucks all the time.
Well, I'll just tell you, if I was looking at the little circle thing, the little donut, the graph that your bank shows you on how much money you spend and where your money goes.
Spend it,
there would be a big chunk that says Amazon.
That's probably like lifestyle or something.
I don't even. It's just like it's a category all its own is Amazon, and it can be everything.
It's half the pie.
Exactly. Well, when I was thinking of a budget, so I used to make budgets because, of course, I raised 3 children and I worked 2 jobs. So I'm like, okay, starting at the top, rent, car payment, insurance, electric, phone, gas, all those things that have to be paid. So you can know like, okay, paycheck number 1 is going to all the things to keep a roof over our head and stuff like that. And then paycheck number 2, we get a little more leeway. We got to feed everybody, but then we also maybe hopefully have some spending room.
Yeah,
so when I think of a budget, that's what I think of. Like, where's my money got to go? And I need to make sure that I don't overspend at Amazon so that I can't pay FPL.
Not the getting your power turned off, okay?
Getting your power turned off, not fun.
Not a good look for people our age.
Like adults. But it happens. It happens. We're not going to tell that story. Or are we?
It just happened to me. It
just happened
ever in my life.
Jamie just got her power turned off.
Okay, that sounds really bad. But what happened was, what had happened was.
Here's the story.
One of our cards was connected with a bank account that closed, and I didn't realize that card was connected to our Florida Power and Light. And it was just during a time when I wasn't checking my emails, so I didn't see the email saying like return payment, we're shutting your shit off in a couple of days. This is your last day to pay. No, instead, at 8:00 one morning, the power goes out, and I was like, that's weird. And then we called to find out if there were power outages. They were like, nope, there's none. It's like, oh God, I'm in charge of the power bill. What did I do? Yeah, I let that card expire and didn't renew it. And then FPL was like, you're on suspension. We won't even accept online payments from you now because we don't trust you. You're obviously like 25 years of paying your bill on time. And this one time we're like, absolutely not. You are
So
now.
What were the repercussions? Now you have to pay
1 year. I have to pay somebody else to pay my bill. It's like a different online service. It's so weird. So they're charging me like $4 to go through their site to pay FPL. It's like, it's a weird thing, but that is from neglecting my emails during hard times and, not being organized.
And that's a practical, we don't have that in here.
Overload.
We don't have that in here, but this is a good time to like organize and pay attention.
Yeah.
So it might be a good time to go through your inbox and clean it out.
Yeah, I'm never letting that happen.
Unsubscribe to everything that you no longer want, which I'm sure if you're like me, you got like a million things you get emails on.
I know.
Like, how did I get on this
your
email?
Junk email? Unsubscribe. Like, okay,
you have to do that like 10 times.
Yeah,
right?
well, you go to a new store and you buy something like, you want to sign up for a program? I was like, sure, I'd shop here again and save 50% on something. Yeah, I'll look for that coupon. And then you just don't, and it fills your inbox up with stuff that just is overcrowded and useless, and it makes you feel exhausted, I think.
Oh my gosh,
Useless
I
shit
have a
makes us feel
success story to share really quickly.
Ooh, with
so I signed up so ABC Liquor is the closest liquor store. I've almost made her spit out her drink.
I wasn't, not that we're alcoholics or anything.
No. But ABC Liquor is right by my house. So when I went there, they're like, yeah, if you put in your number, then we'll send you coupons for stuff. Yeah. Well, every time I would get them, I'm like, I don't want any of that crap. Whatever you've given me a coupon for, I was like, I don't want that. Finally, last month, I got a coupon for $5 off, right? $5 off for like you spend $25 or $30 or whatever it was. But I was like, that's something I can actually use now. Yeah. So I went and spent like $70 on liquor and saved $5, but I felt accomplished in doing that.
At least it made sense.
It finally paid off having that ABC rewards card, that they send me the messages every month. Like, here's all the things we have on sale. And, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't drink that.
It's annoying.
Yeah. So anyway.
We're going to move on to an area of service. This is service to others. Remember, this is about the outward things. So not necessarily taking care of ourselves so much, but what can we do in our community with other people? And I'll let you go first with service.
Oh, okay.
Acts of service.
So acts of service. So the things that came to my mind, of course, were volunteering in some kind of way. If you can like pick up trash, you can do a trash day. It doesn't
adopt a highway type thing.
You don't have, to get involved in community service does not have to be a regular thing. Does not have to be like you're committed every Saturday morning to picking up trash on the highway or whatever, or committed to some.
We do a lot of beach cleanups.
We do a lot of beach cleanups. You can look for something that is like occasional because let's face it, volunteering is a time commitment. And so don't stress yourself out. If you want to volunteer, find something that you can do. I know there's a couple of times a year where people here, we live in Florida, and people here go out and they clean up. They go on like the jetty. We have a couple of jetties, and they go out there and they start cleaning the junk so that the birds and stuff don't get hung up in old fishing line and things like that. And you go out there in your boots and your kayaks, and there's all these people. And this only happens like 2 times a year. Yeah, like your rain boots and stuff, so you can slosh around in the water and stuff like that. Yeah. But so if volunteering seems like it's like I just don't have time to volunteer, you do have time to volunteer, but you have to choose your time. You have to choose like when and how much of a commitment that is. If you have children, volunteering weekly is probably unless you're married.
But I have a suggestion for that. We volunteered at a recycling center, and like you brought us with you.
I worked as a part-time job. So I was a single mom raising 3 kids. I did all kinds of oddball.
I thought we were just volunteering. I didn't know that.
No. I did every job that would hire me just so that I could have enough to pay for all the things I had to pay for with 3 kids and no child support. But anyway, at one of my jobs, I worked at a recycling center.
It was really fun for me.
So the recycling center, like my job was when people came in with their cars of stuff, is to direct them to which dumpster to go to. Like over there's aluminum and over there's whatever paper.
Glass
bottles. It was when I learned that America mostly eats pizza. That's where I learned that. It's like we mostly eat pizza because there were so many pizza boxes. But on Saturdays when I would do this, I would take the kids with me just for the experience of it, because it was a job that I could take them to.
Yeah.
And they liked it.
We liked it.
They liked being there. And you'd see all these people.
All kinds of cool, weird old stuff. And you're like, what is that for? It's kind of like going into Goodwill now where you're scanning all this random stuff and you're like, what did people use that for? I don't even know what this is. I got to look this up. But we ended up collecting many really cool old glass bottles.
Yeah.
That we then
you could
recycled
definitely
later,
it's
just really neat stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that time we got, so I know this is maybe weird, but National Geographic was very expensive. So we didn't buy that. But for my little science brain and wanting to know about the world, I wanted those things. And so this lady brought in like stacks of National Geographics, and my mom let me take a good portion of them home, of course.
Absolutely. And too bad somebody didn't bring the Encyclopedia Britannicas in there to recycle, because she really wanted the whole set of Encyclopedia Britannica. And they were like $800, and like, yeah, mom can't afford that. Sorry.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so the second part of service, so if you can't volunteer, that doesn't interest you, it's not available in your area. Another thing you can do is, okay, what's in your closet that you can pull out and donate to, like, especially if you're a female, to a women's domestic violence center or a shelter or someplace in your community that's trying to help women get on their feet and get jobs, so they might need clothing. So that's something that's like, you go
it's
through
an act of service.
It's an act of
but
service,
it doesn't cost
and
you time.
It doesn't cost you. The only amount of time it costs you is, of course, to go through your things, but also then to find the place that you want to donate to. And listen, these are in every community where women are.
They're just in every community. Every community has battered women.
Every community has battered women and children in need. So if you have small children and they've outgrown their clothes, you might donate that. So you can do some donating as an act of service. Again, this is honoring this full moon. The spirit of this full moon, the energy of this full moon is acts of service. So do something along those lines. So
for me, my acts of service, I'm going, I love humans and all, most of them, some of them, I don't know. I'm an animal person, man. Old towels, sheets, anything cloth that can go into animal shelters, specifically like wildlife rehabilitation centers. I donate a lot of stuff to them, like anything that can be used as bedding. The shelter that I give to has an Amazon wish list. Every once in a while I'll go on there and be like, oh, they have 5 of these, but they need 20 or something. And so I'll buy 5 and it just gets automatically delivered to them. So if you have a local shelter, you might check to see if they have an Amazon wish list page. And that way you just go online and order it and then have it shipped off to them. You don't have to do anything. You can give them a note or a card. You can visit and let them know. But my thing is, I guess, donating to wildlife shelters or animal places. And then we talked about food banks as well.
We did talk about food banks.
If you go through your cupboard and you have a bunch of old, I don't want to say old,
not old, but things that you bought that you're not going to use. Yeah. Like my cupboard is full of that, and I need to go through it. And I need to donate. Yeah, because I bought things. I'm like, why did I buy this? I had an intent for it, but you can also donate.
She saw something shiny, and then it was over.
So you can donate things out of your food pantry that you're not going to.
Canned foods and stuff.
Canned foods, yeah, stuff like that.
Non-perishables, that's what they call them, right?
Yeah, non-perishables, yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to the self-care aspect of the Virgo full moon. This is probably the more witchy thing to do. These other things are just stuff normal humans do all the time also. But as witches, we want to do stuff.
These are the magical things. So we're
the connection. These are the things that can feel really personal. And so when you have self-care, this is you taking out time for yourself to care for yourself, but in a way that is like bigger than just you, right? So when we are a healed and whole person and we love ourselves and we're loved by others, we're able to give more freely. We're able to be in that place where we can open ourselves up to help other people. But it does start with first taking care of ourselves. So with this, I have many shower routines, I guess, because I'm a water sign. And I feel like when I'm in water, I'm able to truly connect with like the feeling of my higher self or feeling energetic or something. So I have shower sprays. That's one way. When you're doing your shower, if you have a shower spray, which is basically water and essential oils, and you spray that, and the intention goes out there to heal, to open there's like 1,000 million things I could say about that, because you could do it by chakras, whatever you're feeling with that. You could do it by emotions. There's too many to name, but buying yourself or making your own shower sprays or even shower bombs. I think we have one to show.
We have a shower. You can't see it. So we have a shower bomb. This was gifted to us. It's a shower bomb. So it's just like this tablet when you put it in the shower. So this was gifted to Jamie, and I got these from Selena. Selena, if you're on here, we're not seeing any comments, which I'm
really wondering. I know.
Is everything okay with our chat?
I hope so.
I don't know.
I was gonna ask.
If anybody's out there,
hit us up. Characters.
If anybody's out there, say something in the chat.
I've never seen these.
Because we've never ever not seen. Stop! You're distracted.
Sorry.
Okay, so anyway, Selena, shout out to Selena, who gave us a Christmas gift. And one of them included these they're like pellet things, right? So when you put them in I used one already and it was so lovely. So you put them in your shower, and then as the shower like shower water hits it, they start to disintegrate and the whole shower like fills up with this wonderful smell. The first one was, oh my gosh, it was like, wow, this is really intoxicating. I really like that. So these are called shower steamers. That's what these are
I called them a
called.
shower bomb, but shower steamers.
Shower
yes,
steamers,
yes.
yeah.
Hey, there's Jenny. Hi. It wasn't going through. Oh no. It's working now. Yes, I see you.
Oh,
I did a weird little emoji because I never even pulled that little thing up. Sorry to overtake it, but hi, Jenny. Oh my gosh. It was weird to not see anybody come
yeah,
through.
it was kind of strange. It's like, I see people are
it's
here,
weird.
but usually folks are commenting
Or saying hi.
or saying hi.
Hi.
So you talked about a cleansing bath. We talked, or a shower.
Yeah, I'm a shower person right now. Listen.
Yeah, I have a bathtub that
I don't use my bathtub.
you
right
have
now,
a wonderful bathtub,
but I don't use
But
it
she
because
never
my
uses-
18-year-old kid, that's his bathroom. And I just don't feel good about that yet. Just so you guys know, like I installed that almost 6 years ago and I've yet to use it because it doesn't feel like mine.
I lived with her for 6 months and
And you use it?
I love that bathtub. Oh, it's this huge, deep bathtub.
Yeah.
Like, it's really luxurious.
Technically, you're supposed to be able to fit 2 people in it. You know, I just knew eventually my husband and I would live there alone and we could just like do romantic bathing together. But
Yeah.
we have a big ass shower we do together instead. So it works. That's why I'm more shower focused because that's what I've been practicing for the last 6 years. I
really liked one of the habits or one of the rituals that you talked about a long time ago where you have
My
soap.
Okay.
Tell us about that.
All right. I know most people probably use loofahs, but if not, I use a washcloth that like one side's terry cloth and the other side's like a scrubber. I don't know, exfoliation, I guess. But that's what I'm used to. I don't use the
Spongy,
what is
those
that? Loofah.
poofs.
I just said the loofah, the poofs.
Poofy things.
So what I do with my liquid body wash is I actually, as I'm squeezing it, I do a circle and then a star in the middle. So I do a pentagram. And when I put that on there, I'm thinking to myself, protection and, you know, whatever witchy words come to mind for that day. And then I wash myself with that, you know, it's like drawing it on your washcloth and then washing yourself with it. But as I'm washing myself with it, I'm actually imagining either words that are coming off of it with the soap, or I'm imagining like 100,000 little tiny pentagrams, pinnacles. Why am I confused? Pinnacles that are like all over, just like all over my whole body for protection. So that's one of my shower routines. I don't do it every time, but I make a habit out of it. Sometimes I like bar soap, and so I do that instead.
So another good thing to do in the shower, this is another thing of yours that I really like, was so Jamie, so both my daughters, my son has my hair and both my daughters got their dad's hair. And so they're not really happy with it. They're like, why couldn't I have like thick, long hair or thick hair?
Fast-growing hair.
Yeah, so fast growing hair. So, you know, Jamie was always like frequently, you know, criticizing her hair. Like, oh, my hair is so like, oh, it's so black.
I talked really bad to it.
It's so black. So she finally stopped doing that. And when she would get in the shower, she would like, my hair is like thick and healthy.
Yeah, it was like spell work. Well, I did a spell for
spell work. Yeah,
I did a spell for it, but
then her hair started growing, like seriously, like growing.
But I also took care of it. Like I took the time to take care of it. Regular trimmings, you know, adding stuff to it. So I had to do the action on top of the spell work to get it there. And
you always have to do the action on top of this,
man. I burned the hell out of it one time and I had to cut it all off. That's when we like first started. Remember, I had short hair.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just been continually growing and getting longer, thicker, stronger, fuller,
healthy,
and
feels better. And now she no longer talks shit about her hair. So depending on, what's your deal? What can you address in the shower when you're by yourself?
Yeah.
What do you want to wash away? Like wash away negativity, wash away hurt, wash away whatever. This is what you can do. Yeah, aggravation, annoyance, which is something I just talked about last week, like how I'm annoyed with myself for being annoyed all the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you shower in the morning, do it with intention. This is the time to do that. And that's part of the
self-care thing.
That's part of the self-care.
Yep.
This is a ritual that you can start. And then every day when you shower, you can just make it part of your
routine/ritual. That's your morning ritual to do things like that, or evening, doesn't matter, either one, morning or evening.
Okay.
We're moving on to the next section, which is I have analytical reflection. What do you have? Do you
Well,
have
my
that?
next thing is no. I have
What do you
clear communications is what I have.
Okay.
So you can talk about that.
When we talk about, so analytical reflections are reflecting over life's choices, decisions, purchases, whatever it is. When you do it in an analytical way, you're not adding feeling to it. This is where people can really get hung up, is that when they look back over their past decisions or things they've been through, the emotions can come up with it. During Virgo season, Virgo is not about it's not Virgo season, I'm so sorry. During the Virgo full moon, this is not a time that emotions are going to be all over the place. This is really a time to be mentally practical.
This is in your head.
We're separating like head and heart right now. And you can do some analytical reflection to say, am I where I want to be? Is my life the way that I want it? What goals do I really want to achieve? How can I reset myself for something? You can celebrate every single thing that brought you to this point right now. And you have the power to change it, to shift lanes, to switch paths. And you can decide that for yourself and kind of, I would say, celebrate that every single day we wake up with a choice to make our life exactly how we want it. We just have to have the courage to do that. That when we wake up, we're like, I'm done with this shit. I'm not taking it anymore. I'm doing something different. Brave, bold, and out there.
Listen, that brings me to the last thing that we're going to, I think, unless you're going to do.
I have a routine, but it's
okay. Well, then the next to the last thing. So, okay. Also, as part of this, the Virgo energy is about communicating, because Virgo is about the mind. So it's about the thinking and the speaking. So this is a good time to, like, for instance, talk to your boss if you're ready if you want to talk to him about a raise or more responsibilities. This is a time not just for your boss, but maybe for your partner or for people in your life that you care about, to let your needs be known. Yeah. So voice what you're thinking. It's a time for you to
clear communication.
It's a time for you to communicate what you want with your partner, with your boss, with your family members, with whoever, the important people in your life that you may be held back. The energy of this full moon supports that. So if that's you, this is a really good time to do something like that, to like let your voice, speak that message.
Speak your needs.
The energy of this moon is supporting that.
Absolutely. And so now the very last thing we're going to talk about, the last thing that I have, this is also a good time to set up routines, whatever you're looking for. I know you guys probably remember way back in January, we were like, this is not the time to make plans and set goals, New Year's resolutions, why they don't work. We've been slowly moving into the time of the year where setting your goals, intentions, and affirmations for the future, it really aligns with right now. We just went through Aquarius season. Yeah, it ended today, right? Or yesterday. I don't have the dates exactly. Who needs to remember that? A calendar tells me. But we ended Aquarius season, which is all about invention and new ideas and pushing forward and selfless acts and all of that. And now we're going into Pisces season, now we're in Pisces season, and creating routines that really help you in areas that you're struggling in. And you can start really, really small. I love this. My old boss had a great idea where it was do one small step every day. So say you want to start hitting the gym, right? Who doesn't? I swear to God, that's like America's motto. We're going to get to the gym. We're going to get healthy. It's going to happen. One small step is put your gym shoes by the door. The next day, put your clothes by the door that you're going to wear. Next day, download an app that tells you what you're going to do when you work out, when you go there. Then pick a gym. Then route your map to the gym. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Route your
map. Your route.
Yeah, I didn't say it right. Dyslexia, Mom. You're supposed to catch that.
I heard it perfectly.
I know, because we're both dyslexic. Okay. Map your route. True dyslexia. Map your route to the gym. And then sign up, like all the things that you can do. You can take all these little steps so it's never so overwhelming. You try to do so much at once that you exhaust yourself and then you give up on your goals. Start with these small steps. This energy right now is all about the outward self-improvement to be of service, not just to yourself, but to others, and to make sure that you make a routine. Okay, so the routine thing is really big for Virgos. We like to know what's happening, what's going to be next, what can we plan for, because all of that makes the analytical side, the practical side more efficient. If we know what we're trying to prepare for, we're going to have the perfect plan because we're perfectionists. That's just what needs to happen. So what I like to talk about is my morning or evening witchy routine that I do. It builds. Sometimes it slows down. Some days I don't get to do it. But I know that on my good days when everything like is kosher in everybody else's life and I'm not having to rush out of the house, I get up, I make my coffee or tea. I know that I'm going to go down and I'm going to feed my cats. I open their door because they're kept in at night. We go outside. We greet the world. I walk around my yard barefooted. I ground myself. I think about my day's intentions. I'll look at my calendar a little bit to just kind of see like, all right, what do I need to conquer today? What are my challenges? And then through my walk through the yard, which I go very slow, sipping coffee or tea, and my cat's following behind me, that's when I decide how my day is going to go right then. That is my routine for that. I decide this is going to be a good day. Here's how I'm going to help myself and others. Here's how we're going to get through things. If something comes up, this is what, here's how I'm going to pivot. Having that morning routine to myself and really being able to think through my day allows me to start the day with just such a fresh and clear mind of like, I don't know, even hopefulness.
It kind of sets the tone for the day, doesn't it?
100%. When you tell yourself how the day is going to go, you set it. So imagine waking up and like the cat's puked here, somebody peed on this, the raccoons got into the trash, someone pooped in the pool, the fences were all left open, the bird feeder's destroyed because the raccoons. Like sometimes I wake up to stuff like that.
Hopefully not all in one day.
Yeah. Sure. When they decide there's going to be chaos.
This is what happens when you live next to a 13-acre
nature
preserve. Yeah.
They all come to your yard and they're like, hey, look at all this stuff going on. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Raccoons, possums.
Yeah.
I
just like it. And even if you don't have a garden, which I'm so envious of her, she's got such a beautiful yard, beautiful garden.
It's my pride.
It's a lot of work. So don't think it doesn't happen by coincidence. It happens by hard work and planning.
What do they say? It's not all rainbows and butterflies. It's a lot of sweat and tears and grit and broken fingernails and stubbed toes and like.
Wait a minute. I just came over to your house last night and she had dirt all over her. I was like, wow, your feet are really dirty. No, it was your feet that were so dirty.
But the new soil that we got has like worm castings in it or something, and it stained the inside of my fingernails. And I know I should wear gloves, but I like to touch the
something
dirt.
Really simple. If you don't have that, this is what I do because I don't have a big garden. I have a yard, but I don't have a beautiful yard like Jamie has. I'm working on it.
I love all your compliments.
But
keep going.
But what I do is when I make my coffee or tea in the morning is I stir my intention into it. So I put some honey in there because honey is like nectar of the gods, right?
Yeah.
And I totally
sun,
feel like
attractor, fire, the whole thing.
I totally feel that.
Yeah.
The whole thing with honey. And then when I just stir my coffee, I'm like, it's going to be a good day. I light some sage. I pull a tarot card. I light a candle, and then there I go. That starts my day.
So it can be have our different morning rituals because you have you and Tank, so she doesn't have to worry about feeding anybody.
Yep. Well, I take him for a walk first thing because he wakes up looking at me like, "Is it time to go for a walk yet?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just a minute."
I have things to sniff and pee on right now. Okay, he's been waiting all night.
So, all right. So hopefully you get some ideas from this video about what you can do to embrace the energy of the Virgo full moon.
And we understand if this was a lot of stuff that isn't super witchy. I'm not going to claim that Virgo's the witchiest sign out there as far as what to connect with, but it is a sign that really helps us stay healthy as spirits in a physical body. We still have to take care of the physical aspects of our life. We need to be responsible for the choices that we make, the homes that we create, the people that we are in service to or not in service to, and how we even care for ourselves and our health. Because there's no point in coming here and having this earthly experience as souls in a human body, and we're just like, fuck this body. I'm not going to take care of it. I'm going to treat it like trash. What's your experience going to be like? It's just something to think about. I don't want to end it on that note of being bad.
Well, I'm going to end it on this note.
She's ending the note.
Okay. I'm going to end it on this note. Right. You are a goddess. So treat yourself like a goddess every day.
Mm-hmm. Every day.
Every day.
How do you treat yourself like a goddess every day?
I I told you I have my little ritual in the morning. And then, I spend time with my witchy stuff.
I have a mantra. I have a mantra for myself that I'll repeat throughout the day. And it's that I love my life. I love where this is going. I love what's coming to me. And I try to repeat that as often as I can. And it brings about a sense of gratitude. And that really helps me stay focused on just the daily things. Because not every day is easy. I'm taking care of my 83-year-old mother-in-law. My son has epilepsy. There's things. We all have our stuff. And we don't need to compare. But we just have to know that as we all have our stuff, what are we still doing for ourselves as far as like connection and in our hearts?
And I think the important thing here is like you can take 2 minutes out of the day to focus on you.
Yeah.
To focus on your needs and your well-being. Because if you're not well, you can't take care of all the people that love you.
It's the oxygen mask thing.
You can't take care of all the people that you love you very well.
That you love and that love you. I think that's what she was saying.
Yeah. So,
all right, you guys. Listen. This was like very scientific and we get it, but we hope you will take some of these practices and use them to honor and celebrate this full moon energy that is all about being in your head. It really is. It's an air sign, so it's just like, yes, practical matters of the brain. So if you're feeling very much stuck in your head, that's what's happening.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
We'll see you next week. Bye, you guys.
Bye, Jenny.
I hope the chat was working well. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Jenny, we'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.